Senior politicians who've watched our undercover investigation into a white supremacist group whose members boast about knives have called their behaviour completely unacceptable. The Security Minister, Dan Jarvis, told us the government will make sure the police and security services have what they need to deal with the threat. The Prime Minister said action did need to be taken.
The fascist fight club preparing for a race war.
We're here to take power whenever the opportunity arises.
Behind closed doors and out in the open. During 6 months undercover, ITV News saw it grow from a few dozen to well over 100 members.
Back to where you come from, you
including a violent criminal who's served time for a knife attack in a supermarket.
What's your problem with black people?
Today, the Prime Minister said our exposé showed the need for action.
We need to take action against it because whatever your political view, whether you support this political party or that, the vast majority of people would absolutely no truck with those on the extreme right, those that are meddling and using knives and violence in politics. No place for that, and we need to act on it.
I've got about £1,000 worth of throwing knives and axes on the way, and I've got a bunch of bows and archery bows.
Archery is nice.
Right, well, that is definitely for when we... Yeah.
Well, that is probably the most disturbing bit of your entire film footage, because that's a person who's clearly arming themselves.
Neil Basu is the former head of UK counter-terrorism policing. For a time, a familiar face at moments of national crisis.
I'm the policing lead for counter-terrorism.
He's reviewed extracts from our more than 100 hours of undercover footage.
From what I've heard from your filming, these are people preparing to commit acts of violence. Some of the stuff they're saying would breach hate crime legislation and public order legislation without a doubt. Incitement to violence. So that it's very clear the racism, the white supremacy, the anti-Semitism is severe.
Which poses a serious question for the government.
We will want to look very carefully at the detail of your film. The kind of things that we saw in the film are reprehensible, they're completely unacceptable, and it is the job of government to ensure that law enforcement has the necessary tools, the resources in place to counter the threat that I think that your film showed that we face.
Have things got tougher since the summer riots?
I think things are increasingly challenging.
I am being racist today.
Scotland Yard says our investigation has been flagged to the relevant authorities. The matter now under their attention.
White power.
Rohit Khatru, News at 10.